Good afternoon, traders. This is Kevin Craney with RJO Futures with your afternoon financial market update. Well, markets certainly taking the news from the FOMC committee a bit mixed on the day. After the release, the S&P sold off about 10.5 to 11 points, only to recover and close mixed on the day. Going into the release, we actually saw Treasury yields tick up a little bit. Really, the market kind of anticipated what we got from the FOMC. Rates held steady, extending Operation Twist for 6 more months to the end of the year. Going to continue to buy the longer end of the Treasury curve, anywhere from 10 years from 6 to 30 years, while continuing to sell securities with the 10-year all the way up to less than 3 years. Really, if you parse the statement, I think what you look at is you see that the Fed indicates that inflation is still declining, albeit it is stable, and certainly employment trends have ticked down. And if we look at the two mandates of the Fed, certainly employment and inflation, I think this kind of sets up for the potential for QE3, particularly at the July meeting, which is the next meeting. After the July meeting, we don't have another meeting until September, so I think that's really what the market's lining up for. What's the next chess move? Next chess move comes from the ECB summit next week. Certainly we want to see if the European leaders can get their act together and can agree on something, but certainly we'll also be watching the ECB to see if they implement any type of bond buying program in QE, because that is certainly going to be the next key in this link, or to see if it's going to be the chess move from the Fed going forward. What's on the docket tomorrow? Well, certainly as we look at the international markets, we have GDP coming out of New Zealand overnight. We have Chinese flash PMI data. That's certainly something to keep an eye on, as the markets will be looking to see if we get continued growth in the manufacturing sector out of China, or if we continue to see things slowing just a little bit. Looking in Europe tomorrow, we have some PMI numbers, both manufacturing and service sector, coming out of Germany. And then the Eurozone as a whole, PMI service and manufacturing numbers over there as well. Then coming over to the States, it's a big day for data over here as well. We have our weekly jobless claims coming out. We also have PMI, flash PMI index over here as well. We get the Philly Fed survey, and we also get leading indicators coming out over here. Look for the markets to try and take some cues off this macro data coming out here in the United States, and certainly if we can continue to see deterioration, that's only going to add fuel to the fire, that we need more QE in the coming months. Give me a call at 888-596-5817, and we can discuss the financial markets as well as any other commodity markets. And remember, futures trading is not suitable for everyone and carries a high level of risk.